My master key opens more than office doors. It unlocks the deepest regret of every person inside. The tech billionaires upstairs think they own our data. They have no idea I hold theirs. My name is Marcus. I'm a night shift janitor at Apex Core headquarters. The building is a 40-story glass needle, a monument to the future. I'm a ghost in it, pushing my cart from one spotless, empty office to another, wiping away the fingerprints of innovation. They see the blue glow of monitors. I see the coffee stains on the white desks. Two different worlds. My old keyring, a simple loop, finally gave out last Tuesday. Maintenance gave me a replacement from the lost and found, a thick, tarnished brass ring that felt heavier than it should. Hanging from it was a single, ornate key, unlike the modern electronic fobs. It was all intricate grooves and teeth, like a skeleton key from a gothic novel. Original building master, the guy said with a shrug. Probably opens every mechanical lock in the place. Don't lose it. That night, on the 30th floor, the user experience hub, I finished cleaning the corner office of Elaine Rossi, VP of Marketing. As I left, I went to lock the door, a force of habit. I slid the old key into the brass mortise lock. I turned it. There was no click. Instead, a wave of nausea hit me. And a voice, clear as if someone was standing behind me, whispering directly into my mind. It was Elaine's voice, but stripped of its confident, clipped tone. It was raw, wet with unshed tears. I regret calling Sarah's presentation unprepared and pushing her out, just to take her family moments campaign. Her son has autism. The insurance was through us. I stumbled back into the hallway, yanking the key out. The voice cut off. The nausea faded, leaving a cold sweat. I stared at the key. It was warm in my hand. It had to be a fluke. Stress. The silence of the building playing tricks. I moved down the hall to another office, belonging to David Chen, a lead developer. Heart pounding, I inserted the key into his door lock. I turned. Another wave. David's voice, intellectual and frustrated. I regret the compliance override in the lifelog Neuralink algorithm. It doesn't just suggest memories to revisit. It mines for purchase triggers. We're not curating their lives. We're strip mining them. I leaned against the cool glass wall, breathing hard. This wasn't stress. The key was a truth detector. A regret unlocker. It didn't open doors to rooms. It opened doors to the hidden, shameful choices people had locked away inside themselves. Their professional personas were the offices. The key showed me the crumbling foundation beneath. I spent the rest of my shift in a horrified daze, testing carefully. Every door on the executive floors revealed a secret cut of ethical compromise, personal betrayal, or cold, calculated greed. A CFO regretted cooking the books to inflate the value before the lifelog app launch. A product manager regretted ignoring the pediatric psychologists who warned about memory implantation in teens. The regrets all had one common thread: Project Lifelog. Apex Core's moonshot. An app and neural interface that promised to log, categorize, and replay your every memory, turning your life into a perfectly searchable, shareable database. The launch was in 2 weeks. Pre-orders were in the millions. And according to the whispers from the key, it was built on a foundation of non-consensual data mining, psychological manipulation, and outright fraud. They weren't selling a product. They were selling a sanctioned addiction, a way to own not just people's attention, but their very past. My shift ended at 4 a.m. As I rode the service elevator down, the weight of the keyring felt like an anchor. I held the collective, screaming conscience of a billion-dollar company in my hand. I was the only one who could hear it. The next day, I tried to go about my normal life, but I kept feeling the key's warmth in my pocket. At the public library, I researched. I read the glossy tech articles about lifelog's ethical AI and user-first design. They were lies. The truth was in the cold, corporate language of their patents, which talked about effective response harvesting and memory-based predictive spending models. That evening, as I entered Apex Core for my shift, I saw the banners in the lobby. Lifelog, remember everything. The smiling faces of the founders, twins Carter and Olivia Vance, were everywhere. Tech's golden children. My cart felt heavier that night. When I reached the penthouse executive suite, the Vance twins domain, the air felt different, thicker. Their offices had biometric locks. The old brass key wouldn't fit, but the door to their shared private terrace had an old mechanical lock. A relic. I shouldn't have, but I had to know. What was the regret at the very top? I slid the key in, turned. The sensation wasn't a single voice. It was a duet. Two voices twisted together in a single, chilling thought. Carter's voice, cold and strategic. I regret that the trial subject in segment 12 had that adverse neural reaction. Wiping his core identity was the only fiscally responsible containment. Olivia's voice, just as cold, but clinical. I regret that we had to call it a psychotic break publicly. His family's NDA was efficient, though. I ripped the key out, vomiting over the terrace railing. It wasn't just greed. It was monstrous. They had erased a person and covered it up. I was shaking, wiping my mouth, when a calm voice spoke from behind me. Security said there was an anomaly on the penthouse floor. Is there a problem, Marcus? It was Anya, the head of facilities. She stood there, arms crossed, her expression unreadable. No, ma'am, I choked out. Just felt sick. The rich food. She looked from my face to the key in my trembling hand, still in the terrace door lock. Her eyes narrowed. That's an unusual key. It must be very powerful to open so many old doors. Her tone was pointed. Did she know? Just doing my job, I mumbled, pulling the key out and fumbling it onto my ring. Of course, she said, her smile not reaching her eyes. The Vances are very protective of their privacy, as is the company. We're on the brink of something world-changing with LifeLog. We wouldn't want any old locks or old secrets causing problems. Would we? It was a threat. A polite, corporate threat. They knew the key had power. Or they suspected. And they knew I had it. I am a janitor. I clean up other people's messes. I am holding a key that reveals the biggest mess in tech history. And the people who made it have just served notice. They're about to launch a product that will hook into the brains of millions. And they've shown they'll destroy anyone in their way. I have 2 weeks until launch. I have a key that unlocks guilt. And I have a target. The twins at the top of this glass tower. They think they've built an empire on code. It's actually built on regret. And I have the master key to all of it. Episode 2. The master key is linked below. How do you stop a product that's already inside people's minds? Subscribe for the conclusion.